Reg is absolutely accurate. In fact, I love those meetings, and so does he, when we go up to the Hill, because we're not going there just as individuals. You know, it's not Ed McElroy and Reg Weaver going to the Hill. We're going there because all of you have sent us there. So it's tremendously comfortable to be there and to have millions of teachers behind you as you go through these processes. But they don't listen to us because, you know, I'm Ed McElroy and he's Reg Weaver. They listen to us because of the work that you did here to elect the people to Congress and to the Senate that I just mentioned. You know, the nice thing about going into Tim Walz's office in Washington on No Child Left Behind and several other issues was that you didn't have to convince him of anything. He knew it as well as we did. He knew all of the issues, he knew all of the difficulties. He had been talking to you and he'd been hearing from you. The same thing for Senator Klobuchar. Now, I say that because that work you did in 2006, you did, and all of your colleagues did throughout the country, is the reason why we were able to hold back bad legislation. The difference was that we were talking to people now who are listening to you and to your colleagues throughout the country. That's how important that work you did in 2006 was. Now, the unfortunate part of this business is we're never done. The work you did in 2006 has to be duplicated again in 2008. We have to make sure that we re-elect those people who are helpful to us. And as Congressman said, look at the record of the people who were in there, and the ones that weren't helpful should be doing what I'm doing. Retiring. I'm doing it voluntarily. They shouldn't be doing it voluntarily. Politics is a tough business, but you have to be in it, right? We at the AFT made an endorsement in the presidential election. Back in October, we endorsed Senator Hillary Clinton, who had had a long track record with the American Federation of Teachers. But we looked at everybody. I had meetings with more people who never ran than I actually had dinners with people and meetings with people who ran. But we started a long time ago. We met with Senator Warner from, Governor Warner from, he wants to be senator, I hope he is, from Virginia, and he decided not to run. And we met with Evan Bayh, the senator from Indiana, who decided not to run. We went through all of that process, 7 months of looking at this, and then we endorsed Senator Clinton. We did it based on her record. And that's the kind of work we're supposed to do, and that's the kind of work you should be doing here. It's not a matter, and the Congressman is correct, it's not a matter of what political party people come from. It's a matter of where they stand on the issues that we hold near and dear, and whether they share our values or not. And that's the kind of work that we have to do. We did that with Senator Clinton. I know you did that in the past with Tim Walz. You did it with Amy Klobuchar. You did it with Congressman Ramstad. And so it's incredibly important that we do that, and we participate in that political process at every level. It matters here in Minnesota what you do at the state level. I know you've got a campaign now. I don't know all about it. Campaign on the pension work. That can only change and only happen if you're all involved. Now, I do tell that story about Tip O'Neill because I think sometimes we who are in the labor movement have a tendency to believe that because someone pays dues, they're organized. And that's not true. The fact is that in addition to going out and organizing people who are not now members of our union, and you guys, what a record you have for all the time in education in Minnesota, what a great record you have since you got elected, in bringing new people into this education in Minnesota. But it's not only the people who are non-paying dues, who are not members of the union, who don't have collective bargaining. It's all of the people you work with each and every day. They have to be organized as well. It's not enough just to wear a button and pay dues. And how do we do that? Well, it's fairly simple if you think about it. What we have to do is sit down with people and talk to them about the issues that we care deeply about. We can't expect people to automatically react and support opposition on No Child Left Behind, on health care for all, on a fair trade, on a decent economy. We can't expect them to automatically do that unless we actually sit down with people and talk to them about those issues and explain our position on those issues. And then talk about the people who support our position on those issues. You know, it's always amazing to me that we send people to Congress. Well, this happens all across the country. We send people to Congress who actually vote against our interests. We actually send people to Congress who would vote to dismantle the public education system. We actually send people to Congress who think it's a good idea to pay teachers on the basis of a test of their students. We actually send people to Congress who don't think it's important to insure almost 10 million kids who don't have any insurance. And in the work we do each and every day, if we look in the mirror and we have that position, we should be embarrassed that we're not taking care of every kid in this country. We should be embarrassed that in the richest nation in the world, people don't have proper prenatal care, proper nutrition, proper lifelong care. It should be embarrassing. And yet, if we're not careful, and we don't talk to each other and deal with all of these issues, we're going to end up again repeating our mistakes of the past and sending people to the Congress of the United States, to the State House, here in Minnesota, into the local town council, city council, whatever you call it here, who actually vote against our interests. And I submit to you that's not what we should be about. It's not how we should spend our personal resources as well as our financial resources. So when I talk about talking about communication, that's what I mean. That we should be each and every day talking to members of our locals, asking them to participate. Don't raise your hand, but I'll bet you there's a member in our school, in our university, in our work site, or a member of our family, or a member of our community. I know I say this funny, but we didn't ask to do something. I bet you there are people there who you didn't ask to come in and work on a phone bank. I bet you there are people there who you didn't ask to pass out flyers. I bet you there are people there you didn't ask to come with you to a meeting. I bet you there are people there that you didn't ask to call their congressman or senator and support your union on an issue and your members on an issue. I want to wake up in November of 2008 and find someone in the White House who will work against us for the next 4 years. Or find people in Congress who will pass terrible legislation. Or find people in Congress who want to be willing to match our values and to support decent legislation for all of the people of our country. I don't want to find that and then have to admit to myself that I didn't talk to everyone that I needed to talk to in order to accomplish it. Now I know I'm preaching to those who are in the choir. I understand. But unless you take that message and you go out to your work sites and to your schools and talk to people about the very important issues that we have, not only in education, these myriad of issues that touch each and every one of us as workers and as citizens, we won't be successful in 2008. Now, I happen to believe we will. I believe that we can change the world. I've done this all my life because I believe that you and me, working together in a collective way, can change the world. Your challenge is to keep doing it. Go out and do that. Thank you very much.